We are all revved up. Let it shine. We'll feel the love. We'll feel the right place, the right time. And we're just so grateful to be here with you today. I'm Reverend Megan Smith Brooks, and this handsome guy is my husband, Reverend Michael Brooks, and we are partners in ministry and delighted to share time with you today. Michael will be doing the message and the meditation, and I will be your hostess. So we're delighted to join you for an inspiring Sunday service on behalf of Unity of Lexington and Reverend Carol, who will be back with you in December. So watch for her first Sunday back. And wherever you are on your spiritual path, know you are welcome here. And we are just going to really, excuse me, feel the gratitude and the blessings for life, the gift of life. And that will be our message today. So I have a few announcements to share with you. Thank you all who are supporting Unity of Lexington's spiritual community. We are so grateful. And please note the church website is down, so if you're used to giving on that site, know that there's something new in the works. And in the meantime, the path to donation is the Shop Now button on our Facebook page. And of course, you can mail in your donations, always gratefully received. The address is listed under the category About on the Facebook page. If you're tuning in for the first time, online services are a bit shorter with a slightly different flow than our in-person services. But we are so blessed to have you joined us today and hope that you'll come back again next week. We want to take a time just to shift into the consciousness of prayer and feel the blessings and gratitude for life, but to share that with others. The prayer list for today is for peace and harmony, for our community, our nation, our world, our leaders especially, to have strength and comfort for all those affected by the wildfires and hurricanes and weather-related challenges that just seem to be really slamming us hard this year. And to hold Nicole and Leslie and all the first responders, frontline, and essential workers who never waver in their commitment to serving our health and wholeness. They're making a difference. And for all those who are experiencing the effects of COVID-19, for those who have transitioned as a result of having this virus, and especially for their grieving families and friends, we enfold you in love. We hold the intention for healing for Diane, Ginger, Bill, Jay, Tanya, Connie, Greg, Patty, Patrick, Sharon, Pat C., Katie for a healthy delivery for her baby, Rocky the dog, Dennis and Dwayne, and of course, Reverend Carol. So if you would like prayer support, please email Reverend Carol at revcarolunity@gmail.com, and that's RevCarolUnity@gmail.com, or you can private message her on Messenger. Unity of Lexington follows the Silent Unity Prayer Ministry format and shares only first names to honor confidentiality. Know they are known in spirit. We honor and support all of you in prayer, knowing a shared intention is a powerful one. So let's just take a moment to give thanks for our blessings and start our time with intentional prayer. I invite you to close your outer eyes so that you might be aware of the inner awareness that you are divine by nature, and to feel your breath breathing in, knowing this powerful affirmation of truth. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, goodness, omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. And so we breathe it in and we let it go. And we send the blessings of our heart out into the universe, knowing that as we hold the intention of gratitude, we allow that presence to be active in and through and as us in magnificent and beautiful and empowering ways. And so it is. Amen. I want to continue that consciousness of prayer and just holding the intentions of life with a sacred reading from a daily word. And I thought that it would be appropriate to use the affirmation word giving thanks because that's what we're going to be doing all week, and this is a great time to begin and a setup for our message today on the power of life and the gift of life. The affirmation for giving thanks is I give thanks for the goodness of God expressing in my life. And is supported in scripture from First Chronicles 16:34, where it says, "Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever." And we know when we say Lord, we're talking about our source, the authority of life, the giver of life, the vibration energy of life, and that um, and that is for good. And so the reading is this day, I choose to focus on all of the good in my life. I begin by giving thanks to my divine source for the many blessings in my life. I am grateful for the very breath that animates me. I am grateful for my senses through which I experience all that is good in this world. I have known joy, love, and peace as gifts of God. From this place of gratitude, I take a deep, centering breath, inhaling and exhaling. I bring my awareness to the present moment. I begin to make a mental list of all things, great and small, for which I am thankful. Thoughts of individuals, possessions, experiences, knowledge, shelter, and health flood into my mind. For each idea, I offer a blessing in return, and again we affirm, I give thanks for the goodness of God expressing in my life. And so we're going to do something a little different today, and the meditation and the song and a meditation will be offered coming from the message. So I'm going to turn the service over now to Reverend Michael as he continues to affirm the gifts of life and our last power of the 12 Power series, the power of life.
Okay, thank you. Well, good morning, dear friends in Lexington. It's so good to be with you again. I hope that things are going well for you. I know that we often get the opportunity to engage in life in many different ways, and I'm sure that today is no exception for many of you. So we are going to be talking about that most precious gift, the gift that we only get one time, and that is the gift of our life. And I want to share a few thoughts, and then maybe after our after our talk, we'll go into a little meditation, and maybe something will bubble up from the very interior of your being, the very core of who you are, where the wisdom resides and the knowledge is already there. So I have a question for you, and the first question that I have you ever been given a gift? Maybe one that was wrapped in fancy paper with ribbon, or maybe one of those shiny gift bags with the tissue paper and the little glitter that's on them. Have you ever gotten a gift like that and then received the gift and then didn't open it? You know, many wise ministers and philosophers have stated that our most precious gift is the gift of life. But I have found that many of us, and me at times, have been afraid to open that gift. What good is the gift of life if we never open it? Today we talk about this life, this power of life. And the 12 powers of man as defined by Charles Fillmore, co-founder of the Unity Movement, Fillmore tells us that there are many things connected to the gift of life. But you know what? Sometimes we just don't open the gift. Sometimes because we're a little bit fearful of it. Sometimes because of what it might contain. Who knows what's in that box or in that bag? And we'll never know until we look at it. Fillmore tells us that the power of life comes from the color red. Red is the color we're wearing today. We wanted you to know that That color is the color that is associated with this gift we call life. And it's also connected to the Apostle Judas. Judas Iscariot. You know, we are a little bit afraid to look into that too deeply because we have been told all our lives that Judas betrayed Jesus. True? I don't know. Wasn't there. Couldn't tell you. But I do know that without Judas, Christianity as we know it would not be available to us. He helped create this gift of a new life by allowing Jesus to enter into the trial and tribulation of his last days on the planet. Also, this power of life we talk about, according to Fillmore, where it resides in the body. It resides in the body in the area of the sexual organs. And you know, if you're like me, growing up in a Catholic family, we very seldom talked about sex. And when we did, it was very weird and sometimes undiscernible terms. That happened to you? Well, we know the color is red, we know the apostle is Judas, and we know that sometimes both the apostle Judas and the talks about our sex are misunderstood. So the power of life is more than just the reproductive organs or the apostle or the color that it is associated with. However, it's understandably good to know that this gift of life, is one to be celebrated. And what better should we be able to celebrate this gift of all gifts is around the time of Thanksgiving, where we become grateful for the gifts that we have, and none more important than the gift of life. And we celebrate this gift of life in many ways, on many different occasions, but it seems to me that they're often just special occasions. We celebrate life and during the new year. That's a good time to celebrate life. We celebrate life during the spring time in the equinox and the solstices of summer and winter and fall. We celebrate life on your birthday, my birthday. We celebrate life Christmas, and sometimes the birth of our nation, the 4th of July. How often do we stop throughout each day to celebrate the gift of life? The question comes up again then. What good is the gift of life if we never open it? How often we say, I'm aware I am life. I am life itself, that living spirit that lives, moves in me, and expresses as me. I'm a healer. I heal myself through my own life, and consciously I choose spiritual growth, evolution, joyfully energizing and enlivening all that is in me, because I am life. As I sit here with you today and share this time, I'm sharing this time because we are all alive. We are all connected, one with each other. So today we celebrate life as you, as me. I am a unique expression of life. You are a unique expression of life. And because we live, we are connected to that ceaseless, restless, creative force we call God, the origin of life. I delight in the wonders of my daily experience, the intricacies of life. We know that the trials and the tribulations are all part of life. And sometimes it's a little bit scary to open up that box and to look and see what's inside. Am I willing to accept this gift of life in whatever form it comes? Whatever it's wrapped in, whatever might be the tissue paper, the glitter, the box, the ribbon that holds the package of life. So I find myself having to go back to sometimes basic affirmations that I can say to myself in times of difficulty. And certainly in times like these, when our planet seems to be out of control with fires and hurricanes and floods and mudslides and all of the things that the ecology is trying to come back to balance. And included in that is the whole idea of the virus pandemic that has been plaguing our world. How do I go back to the interior of my being and allow myself to be at peace? To know that my life, your life, is a gift. Will I accept this gift of life? My mind and my heart are receptive to the blessings of that peace, that abundant life that's in all of us. So I will say for myself today that I will let my life shine brightly. I will anticipate and welcome opportunities to be part of that blessing. Will you open the gift that is your life? Let your life shine. The ability to energize and to animate lives within you. So I have a story that I want to share with you today, and I love stories because we are a people of stories, and every time we get the opportunity to hear a good story or to tell a good story, I'm all in. How about you? Here's one that you may have heard before, but I want you to consider it when we consider this gift of life. It's the story of the stone cutter, and it goes like this. Once upon a time there lived a stone cutter who cut slabs of stone from great stone mountains for the houses that were in the area. He worked hard, but was content. One day he carried a stone to a wealthy house. He became jealous when he saw all the beautiful things that the owner of the house had, and he said to himself, "If only I was rich, how happy I would be." Then a voice answered him, "Your wish is heard. A rich man you shall be." And when he went home to his little house had turned into a palace, he was beside himself with joy and soon forgot about his hard toil and began to enjoy all his riches. By and by he became bored. One day he saw a carriage passing by with a prince shaded by an umbrella. He became jealous of the prince, and he said to himself, "If only I was a prince, how happy I would be." A voice answered him, "Your wish is heard. A prince you shall be." The next thing he knew, he was a prince, surrounded by servants who catered to his every whim. But the sun beat down on him, and he became jealous once more. "The sun is mightier than I. I wish I could be the sun." The same voice answered him, "Your wish is heard. The sun you shall be." Suddenly he turned into the sun and shone his beams across the earth. One day a cloud passed by him, and it shadowed him from the earth, and he became enraged. "This cloud is more powerful than I. Oh, that wish I were a cloud." And he was mightier than any. And again the voice answered, "Your wish is heard. A cloud ye shall be." Soon flooding the earth, and the rain was blocking out the sun, and no matter how much it rained, the earth and destroyed the towns and the villages, he came to realize that he could not move the great stone mountain. "The rock is mightier than I. If only I were the rock." Once more the voice answered, "Your wish is heard. The rock you shall be." And the rock became full of pride and his power, withstanding the heat and the sun and the power and the rain. One day he heard a strange noise, and he looked down to see a stone cutter cutting chunks of stone from his surface. Could it be that a man is mightier than a rock? If only I were a man. Again the voice answered, "Your wish is heard. A man once more ye shall be." And the man he came toiling into his trade of stone cutting, and he never again wanted to become something or anyone else. How is that gift of life applied to the stonecutter when all along to be content with where we are and who we are is of great value? Now, I don't pretend to say that what you are is all that you can be by any means, but I do want to tell you that we must start any and every journey from where we are. We are in right now the only place that we can begin. And today I ask you to consider opening up the gift that is your life. What will you decide to be? How will you show up? What gift is lying in your life that you can give to others? And in turn, be giving that same gift to yourself. So we do it by getting to the place where we can find out where our gifts lie. What is it that we have, and how can we be appreciative of this gift of life? And how can we put it into action in such a way that not only will we be a benefit to ourselves, but to everyone else on the planet? To give the gift of life over and over again. So some of the things that are talked about in regards to the gift of life are different opportunities to do so. One is to recognize or recognition, to remind yourself of the reality that the God life is your life. Fillmore tells us that we are individualized expressions of God, and therefore we are God in expression. And to feel that in our lives, which is the second point, which is part of the sensation of being alive. Have you ever felt more alive? Have you ever felt a place where your life was vital and important and in part of whatever is going on in the bigger picture? I know you have, and so have I. And we can use that to move forward and to create a world that works for everyone. And as we appropriate our gifts into the life that we live, we can give ourselves the opportunity to open up not only the gift of our life, but the gift of our own transformation. For we are here to transform from who we are to who we want to be. And as we use all of these powers, I want to take you in on a little bit of a journey. And as we go into that journey, I want you to give yourself the opportunity to feel life. And this little exercise, hopefully, will get you in touch with that. So during our days of Thanksgiving in this coming week, during the opportunity that we have to see what's happening in our world and in our country and with our leaders and with the nature and the way it is expressing today, how can we give ourselves the best position to share our life and the idea of life with our loved ones and even with those that are hard to love? So let's take a moment and move toward that place where we can become more engaged with the gift of life.
So we're going to move into a time of meditation, and to set that up, I invite you to join me if you know this song, but to realize the power of life, the gift of life, and to begin to activate it and accept it, to awaken it, to know that when we do, we are a blessing to the world. So this song is You Are the Heart, You Are the Hands, You Are the Voice of Spirit on Earth, and all that you are and all that you do is a blessing to the world. So join with me if you know it. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and all you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. I am. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and all I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. We are. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and all we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
So as we move gently into the place of contemplation and meditation, I'm going to ask you to plant your feet firmly on the floor if you can, and sink into the chair in which you sit. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. Feel the breath that we often associate with life, coming in through your nose, filling your lungs, and passing back out in your exhale. And giving yourself permission to focus on only one thing today, that is life. As we ask ourselves to engage in life, can you feel the vibration of your breath? Take that inhale breath all the way from the tip of your nose to the very base of your tummy. A deep belly breath. And as you release that breath, allow yourself to know on a deep and abiding level that you are alive. You are existing on this plane to express who you are and what you are. If you have the opportunity to place the tips of your fingers together, feel the electrical charge, the life-giving force that you can feel in the tips of your fingers. Breathe there, knowing that you are alive. You are life. You are expressing. Take a moment and separate the tips of your fingers. As you feel the energy pass from one hand to the other and back again, feel the gift of life. And as you continue each breath, be aware of the experience of life right there in the palm of your hands. The life-giving force. You control that energy. You are alive. You are life. Can you feel the expression of your own energy? The energy force we call life. How will I express my life today? What shall I be grateful for? in this time when we celebrate gratitude. Where will I direct the energy of my life? As we take a few breaths in the silence, allow your own depth of consciousness to come forth. What will I do today, this week of Thanksgiving, to enhance and express my life? That's it. Let them come forward. My life has no room for hatred. My life will express love. My life will abandon worry and accept the gift of my faith. I will walk in harmony with peace and love in my heart as I choose to express life in a most meaningful way. Today, I promise to open up the gift of my life and share that gift with those that I love and with those that are hard to love. And as you return your attention to this time and place, bring the gift of your life, imbued with all the aspects that you choose to express. Carry it out into your day, into your week, into your life. You are life. And so it is.
Thank you, Michael. And so, as we close the service today, I just want to again invite you to be in the awareness of the blessings of life throughout this week. And as you gather with family, to do it safely. And if you're unable to gather with them for your Thanksgiving holiday, to find a creative way you can get together virtually, to at least acknowledge your love and the blessings that you are to each other, and to share what you're grateful for, to allow the feeling of gratitude that allows us to experience the abundance of life in more amazing ways. And this is a reminder that we carry throughout the year. So thank you, Michael, for your powerful message. And we're going to conclude with saying together a prayer for protection with the affirmations of truth. And then I'm going to play for you, if you want to stay on for a few minutes longer, the rousing and most amazing song by Daniel Nahmod, One Power, to conclude our 12 Power series, to remind you that when you activate and allow all your 12 powers to be aware and awakened to who you are demonstrating your own divinity. And it is one power and one presence, and we are all alive in it. So together, the
The
light
light
of
of
God
God
surrounds
surrounds me.
us. I
I
am
am
the
the light
light. The
of
love
love
of
of
God
God
enfolds
enfolds us.
us.
I
I am
am
the
the love.
love. The
The
power
power
of
of
God
God
protects
protects us.
us.
I
I am
am
the
the power.
power. The
Presence
presence of
of God
God watches
watches over.
over us.
I
I
am
am the
the presence.
presence. Wherever
Wherever
we
we
are,
are,
God
God
is,
is,
and
and
we are one. So, here we go with Daniel Namod, One Power, and we'll see you next Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for another inspiring service at Unity of Lexington Facebook page.